because it's time to talk a little soccer. We just got done watching Florida State win the women's national championship, Clemson win the men's championship. We talked about how great soccer is in this league, and the University of Miami has a new women's coach, and Ken Masuhr joins us. Coach, first of all, welcome to Miami. Welcome to the ACC. I know that life has got to be crazy when there's any kind of transition. But, man, I told you during the break, I can think of worse places to live than Miami, Florida. Congratulations.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I mean, I think I'm from New Jersey originally, so the transition to Miami, I think I've heard a few times that's happened before from New Jersey to Miami. So we're excited to be here.
Yeah, I guarantee you.
But both my parents.
You know, that's exactly right.
There you go.
Taylor can speak on behalf on this one. But nevertheless, I mean, what a great opportunity it is for you. I mean, there's nothing better than being the head coach, and you get to put your fingerprints all over a program. And I know your mind's going 1,000 miles an hour with recruiting and staff and change of life and all that kind of stuff. But again, I know that you know what you've walked into, because this league, as we always talk about it, is so deep and so talented. But I know there's a ton of talent in and around where you are sitting as we speak.
For sure. I mean, I think that's part of it. It's giving us a chance to compete at this level is recruiting tough and competitive, hardworking young women. And I think if we're able to do that in this area to start and keep a lot of these young women in Miami home, it gives us a chance to compete at this level, and again, gives us a chance to operate in tough games, which obviously in this league, there's going to be a number of them.
I always love to ask coaches how the job kind of came about. For you, obviously, I know you've been at Vanderbilt for several years, almost a decade. So it's never an easy thing to just up and leave. Why was this job the job for you? And how did it all kind of unfold for you?
Yeah, I think, being at Vanderbilt and seeing that program grow over time, Darren and I had long conversations about my career and how, what the next step would be. And when the job came open, we kind of looked at each other and said this would be an unbelievable opportunity for us, for a program that, hasn't achieved the same level of success that a lot of the other programs here at Miami have done. So, the next step is one of, me coming in and hopefully driving forward the same mentality and methodology that we used at Vanderbilt, to hopefully come here and take this program to heights it hasn't seen in quite some time.
What is that methodology and mindset that you'll be bringing from Nashville down to South Florida? Yeah,
I mean, like I mentioned a little bit before, tough, competitive, hardworking, and coachable individuals. That gives us a chance to compete in the biggest games. And obviously the technical and tactical awareness that a lot of these players in this league are going to have. But, again, we have to find a way to have players that can compete at that level first. And, when I met with the team, a lot of them talked about wanting to win and being held to a standard. And, there's a big difference between wanting to win and doing what it takes to win. And hopefully over the spring here, we find out what the players here are capable of.
Again, I've said this 100 times on this show. I am not a soccer guru, so I always get a kick out of trying to be open-minded and learning something. What will be your style? Well, if I said to you, Ken, all right, tell us, in a perfect world, your style of soccer is what?
Yeah, I think, we've said over time, and I firmly believe in a style that results in wins. So that may be different for every single game. I mean, I watch a lot of games across the country, and people have to be willing to adapt, and you have to be agile in this environment. And especially you're seeing across in the NCAA, coaches have to adapt every 6 months with the innovation now of the transfer portal, and then also having a big picture down the line. So what my style is going to be 2 or 3 years from now is certainly going to be very different from what's going to keep us in the hunt in games this fall.
Yeah, it's true. I hate when people ask me, where do you want to be in 5 years? I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to be next year.
I can tell you exactly.
I have no idea where I'm going to be.
I can answer that question.
You're going to be in Italy.
I'm going to be in Italy. I'm just going to tell you that right now. I mean, no disrespect to my family here at the ACC Network. I am going to be overseas in 5 years.
He'll be watching Miami women's soccer on his cell phone from Italy. That's exactly what he's trying
we
to
had
say.
Katie. Listen, Katie Meyer, coach. I don't know if you know Katie yet. She's running the show for the. There you go. Hey, Katie Meyer. I've already told Katie we've got this working arrangement that I'm her international scout. And she said, Pac, you can do whatever you want, but I've got Italy. I said, no, I got Italy. So Katie and I have this thing going back and forth. Good. So I'm going to let you negotiate with Katie about the international scouting, because I promise you 5 years from now, I'm not going to be sitting here in this basement. Promise you.
Good for you.
I know your wife, Megan, is a soccer coach too. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so I need to know how much say she has in game plans in these. I want to know what it's like around the dinner table when you guys are sitting there and your kids are there and you're talking about maybe a game coming up or a game that maybe didn't go your way. How much input and say she has and everything?
Yeah, I think it's funny. Before we came here and I had my first meeting with the team, she had mentioned, she's like, you know, the young women that you're going to be standing in front of are going through an unbelievable change. And what she said was, just imagine that you're explaining and kind of communicating to your daughter that's going through a similar change. And how do you make sure that you take care of them first as people and understand that, you know, what they're going through is probably something that they never had to go through before, and start there. And the soccer stuff will take care of itself down the road, but first take care of them as people.
At what point in time does she pull out the yellow card during salad dressing and everything? I mean, if we're pulling out red cards, yellow cards, how's that work?
I've been red carded more times than I can count. So if there's something more than that, then that's what I've got.
There you go.
Hey, she gave you a great piece of advice there. What's the best piece of advice that a coach has given you as you head into this head coaching journey?
Yeah, so, you know, I talked to a couple head coaches, and one of them was, you know, put a pad next to your bed. And make sure that you write anything down in your mind and get it out. And obviously stay true to who you are. And that's going to be hard to do in the early months, but make sure you stay true to who you are, and then put a staff around you that can be supportive in what your end goal is and what your mission is. And we're working to do that right now.
Well, I can't wait to see how the family adjusts from, country music up there in Nashville to the culture down in Miami, which is almost anything goes. I mean, you've gone from one incredible world-class city in Nashville to another incredible world-class city in Miami, but they are about as far apart as you can get.
I'm incredibly lucky and fortunate, and a guy from the shore in New Jersey, I never imagined in a million years that I'd be living in any city, and I've been in Philadelphia, Nashville, and now Miami. Just unbelievably lucky.
You got that.
These are obviously all the fans that will be coming out to your games here in the next couple of years.
Sounds good. We've got space for you.
Listen, Messi's a local call for you. I mean, this should be a no-brainer.
Is he a soccer player here in town? I mean, I haven't heard anything about him.
Yeah, it's some guy I've heard. I don't know what the guy is. Sure. I have no idea.
I mean, you can't walk around the corner without seeing his name or picture somewhere. So it's a really cool partnership with Inter Miami, and I'm excited to get to a game.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Well, listen, again, congratulations on the new gig to you and your family and everything else. We wish you the very best.
Thank you.
You got it, Ken.
Congrats,
Take care of
Coach.
yourself. Very best. That's cool.